So sometimes I feel like I'm having an existentialist crisis or a crisis of identity or confidence or I'm not sure what. And it's interesting that I get that not because I don't like myself, but because I do in a world that I really think I shouldn't. And I, so this is me trying to work it through in my head and trying to decide, what does it mean? And I don't know. I don't know. Make of it what you will. I like myself. Really, I do. And it makes for an interesting situation because I literally gaslight myself because I like myself in this world that teaches me that there's so much about me that should be unlikable. I'm a fat black woman who's not young. And that's supposed to be, I don't know. I'm supposed to be really worried about that. But I actually really like myself. I like my life. I like who I am. I've had experiences that I'd rather not repeat. Well, not even necessarily about them being trauma. I would not do high school again to save my life. They were not no good old days. They were a miserable time of puberty and finding who I am and just difficult. So no, I greet each new phase of my life with anticipation and wonder and really looking forward to the beauty of it, the beauty of walking through that new part of who I am and who I create and what I produce and the mark I leave on this world and the mark that the world makes on me. I like myself. But it's just interesting how radical a notion that is. How much I question, does that make me a narcissist in a bad way? If I establish boundaries and clearly establish what I'll tolerate and what I won't, does that make me a bad person? And I must admit, those kind of questions are fairly recent and are really about moving to London. And because I find that people I talk to who I trust, who are in situations that I probably wouldn't tolerate, kind of tend to give me the feedback that I'm harsh because of my intolerance for what I consider bullshit. So I'm trying to understand, should I be more forgiving, and should the fact that I can't take certain shit, does that mean that I am harsh? Am I supposed to be able to take shit? So I find I'm thinking, maybe I need to talk this over with someone. Yes, I talk it over with people, but I need some sort of consistent way to work some shit through because I really like myself and I don't understand why there's so much pressure on me indirectly to not like myself. Why people think it's not normal to look in the mirror and think, yeah, bitch, you're cool, you're good. Shouldn't that be how everyone feels about themselves? I don't know. I'm struggling. Help. So with this in mind, I have decided I need therapy. Because I think best when I talk and I work through issues more easily when I verbalize them, and I want that consistent point of reference that I have a point that I can go to, and there's no emotional connection. I got really great friends who could work this through with me, but then there's their emotions involved, and then there's a continuity of a relationship past the issue and prior to the issue, and these are all factors that impact interactions and communication. So I don't know, in this moment I think a therapist would be best, but you see, it has to be somebody that is, racially aware and just aware of the issues around oppression and repression and how they play out, and is not gonna gaslight me around, oh, that's not what this meant, or oh, that wasn't about race, or yeah, well, look at it this way, it's not necessarily about you being a woman, and try to get me to understand that the bullshit that exists only in my head. And frankly, I gaslight myself enough without having it done by a professional. So no, I'm not interested in participating in a situation that's meant to make it better but make things worse. And it's not really a bad situation. It's just I just have those times. I've been absorbing a lot of stuff because I was watching something, a cult in action led by a narcissistic leader, and the way he was dealing with it, and then it sort of made me reflect on my own interactions with narcissism, and then sort of reflection on the fact that I really like myself, and that in a lot of those situations when I'm dealing with other people, a lot of what goes on is how much they're trying to teach me what is wrong with me. And in that sense of someone trying to teach you what is wrong with you, you get the sense that they're saying you really shouldn't like yourself because, hey, look, this and that is wrong with you, and you're not able to like yourself unless you go and fix these things. And I'm sure there are things wrong with me, but there's enough that's right, and I accept what's wrong and I accept what's right, and the composite individual that it creates is pretty rad. And I dig her. Yeah, I do. So maybe I'll work it through in therapy, and maybe I won't, and maybe I'll just go read science fiction and write poetry and laugh and eat food with my friends and continue to live joyfully, because that's what the world does not want me to do. Yeah. Whatever, musing, thinking, wondering, and maybe I ended up a mile away from where I started. I never quite know where my head is going. I just follow along, the unwitting passenger. But that's the whole purpose of this situation that I am creating here on this medium. So hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Another train, another day, another time.
The next station is Hillingdon.
There you go.